Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is StarCloud and today we are starting a brand new series of a brand new game called Valheim. Now personally, I have played this game for just about 200 hours and I've got to say I love it, and so I wanted to do a fresh start in this game with you guys and see where it goes. So I'm just going to jump right into it and let you guys get to experience it yourself and to learn from it. Now, don't pay attention to that character. We're going to start a new character. Let's see if it'll let me, though, with that name. We'll choose male. We're going to, not too quickly, but sort of moderately quickly, choose our character. And our hairstyle. I think I like to try the ponytail with a slightly smaller beard, perhaps. And I always go for like a reddish hair style. So let's see. Yeah, looks pretty good. There we go. I like this color of red. Alright. Perfect. So we're going to start, and we're going to start a new world. And we're going to just call it StarCloud. Slightly different there. Perfect. Okay. So think of this as sort of a Minecraft game. It's open world, but you also have a storyline. There's it is story driven a little bit. And it's very Norse, this game. A lot of Viking influence. And think about games where you have to level up your character. So you're thinking of like Knights of the Old Republic or things like that, where you have stats and stuff like that. I'm sure WoW is a great example, but I've personally never played the game World of Warcraft, but I'm sure it would have some similarities to that game, if I were to guess. So, once this loads up, we'll be able to see some really cool intros, and I'll read it for you. Long ago, the All-Father Odin united the worlds. He threw down his foes and cast them into the 10th world, then split the boughs that held their prison to the World Tree, and left it to drift unanchored, a place of exile. For centuries this world slumbered uneasily, but it did not die. As glacial ages passed, kingdoms rose and fell out of sight of the gods. When Odin heard his enemies were growing once again in strength, he looked to Midgard and sent his Valkyries to scour the battlefields for the greatest of their warriors. Dead to the world, they would be born again in Valheim. Apparently, that's probably a real place. But I love the very opener of this game. You get carried in by a Valkyrie. It's amazing. I will spoil one thing though. It's the only time you're gonna see this beautiful creature. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Let me go. I wanna live. But don't let me go right now, because we're really high. How do I fly this thing? The weather's awful down here. Uh-oh. Pull up, pull up! And boom. Oof, that's gotta hurt the feet. Well met. Oh my gosh. The weather is awful. Oh, and now it's cleared up. What are these things? Where am I? Where am I? This isn't going to be that story-driven. Hugin. I'll give him a little voice.
I am Hugin, sent here to guide you in your travels. The megaliths surrounding you are the Sacrificial Stones. They represent the Forsaken, which you must slay in order to ascend to Valhalla.
Very cool. So, basically, Well, let's read what he has to say first.
These magical stones were scattered throughout the lands by Odin, as signposts pointing toward the ritual grounds of the Forsaken. If inspected closer, this one will reveal the summoning place of Eikthyr, your first prey. He is a mighty beast, so you need to properly arm yourself even before even attempting to defeat him.
Ah, gotta read. So, goodbye, birdie. So basically, you have these giant stones, and these are bosses of the game. And they all take shape of kind of what they look like. It's very dope. And this one is where you would start, is this Sacrificial Stone here. Now this here is a, I'm going to try my best, Vegzir, I don't know, of Eikthyr. Who's that? In fact, let's read it. His antlers are branches of iron. They crack the rocks and bring down mountains. His hooves are the sound of thunder. His voice, a howling gale. It's pretty dope. That's just his description, though. This, though, will register the location of Eikthyr. So they give you this one for free, actually, in the game. And it'll open our map to show us where he is. Not too far away. Now this is the entire world. Boom. In fact, if you wanted to, you could just do this a bunch and get lost for a while. I'm pretty sure if you just exit out, you go back. But pretty simple. So what we're gonna do is, like any game, we're gonna start off small, and we're just gonna progress and see if we can survive, pretty much. If you're interested in this game, it's only a year old, so it's still it's under development all the time still, I'm sure. And they actually have some pretty hefty updates that they need to do for the game, as far as like the world itself. Let's not get too close to those guys yet. And we'll see that as we go along our journey. But this world is actually massive, as you can tell by the mini-map. This is a huge world, and we're gonna need to travel it very vastly to accomplish our goals and just to live a life. So, similar to Minecraft, you have these trees, but we can't take out these big ones. What you need to do is you have to go for the small ones first. I guess a small purpose for this playthrough, for me, is to just be as helpful as I can explaining some of the small things, as well as some of the other things. So this is our first monster to fight. Our first opponent, called a Greyling. You can see he sees us with that little red exclamation point. He is alert, he knows where we are, and he does not like us. So we are going to fight him. A skill improved, fist number 1, so we can upgrade ourselves as we go. Get back here. You know, usually they're more aggressive at the very beginning. Come back. He'll come back. They never just leave you. He'll run his way on back. Come on, man. Yeah. Alright. Give him the 1-2 puncheroo. Oh, we stun locked him. And we even critted him, I think, once. And he drops resin. So you just pick up stones and you pick up some wood to begin with. Because what we're going to want to do is create an axe. So, as I was saying, I just want to do my best to explain just kind of the beginning of the game and throughout the mid-game to even late game. I don't think this is going to be a pure walkthrough, but just a playthrough with a lot of knowledge behind it, because I have finished this game on my own once, and I say once because it is a long game to play on your own. But there's a lot of stuff to it, and there's still more stuff that I don't completely know yet. Get back here, dude. Come on. But if I were to say how much I know about it, the game, I'd say I know at least 90%. I'm sure there's a few items that I don't know much about. Get back here. Yeah, I'd just like to share that knowledge with you guys. Have some fun along the way, mostly. That is the main goal, to survive and live our life. So hit tab to open up your inventory over here, as well as a crafting menu. Quite a lot to take in. You also have some other stuff here. Hugin. Where's Hugin? Hello, Hugin. Talk to me.
Most items must be crafted. However, due to your recent departure from Midgard, you will have to recall the true shape of objects. Just pick things up, and it will all come back to you, I'm sure. My lesser brother, Munin, tells me one can fashion a stone axe out of wood and stone.
Funny thing is, you never get to meet Munin. Or at least I haven't. What's up with that, Hugin? Get out of here. So, that's what we're gonna do. We got 4 stone and 15 wood. Just to explain it a little bit, you have your hotkeys up here for your hotkey items and just extra inventory space. They give you a considerable amount of space. This will never change. They also give you a weight limit. So if you go over that weight limit, you will become encumbered and other things will happen. Your crafting screen, pretty simple. They tell you, each one, the requirements for what needs to be in order to craft that said item. And you have these things. So you have the compendium, which is never needed, but it's more for in case you're stuck or you need some info or you like the lore. Your skill tree. It's not a tree, actually. It's just a skill branch that keeps track of your statistics, your levels, so these will continue to grow. If you die, you will lose progress for certain things, so try not to die. Trophies, and this is for online stuff, PvP. This is an online game as well, multiplayer. You can have up to 10 people. Actually, even more than that. You can have a lot if you're on a server, but if you're just open on a single player world, up to 10 people is pretty good. But the more people you have on one world, actually, the harder it is to fight monsters. They'll actually ramp up the difficulty per player. Hello, Grayling. Get over here. You may notice this middle bar that's yellow. That is our stamina bar. If you run out of that, you kind of can't do much. You want to make sure you always have stamina. Alright, let's craft ourselves a stone axe and get to chopping. Oh, you can also fight them with the axes. Get over here. So it actually takes a lot more stamina to hit him with axes. As you can tell, the swing. Come on. You will notice that there are different types of trees out here. There are birch trees and beech trees. There we go. Thank you. Birch trees and beech trees. So let's try to hit a birch tree real quick. Too hard. That means we cannot take down a birch tree. You can swing at it all day you like, that will not change the health of the tree. But a beech tree, you may. And just need a bit more. Boom! One of my favorite things about this game is the tree physics. And you gotta be careful, because if it lands on you, you're gonna get really hurt. And I only have 22 health. Perfect. So look at that. It actually, it took down another tree just by the physics. It's very cool. Another thing though, about trees is, the stumps. They stay. So you're gonna want to get rid of those stumps if you want to clean up a forest area after you've chopped down tons of trees. Especially if you want to replant, you're gonna need to get rid of stumps. So the next thing you do is just chop them down and you get wood. Ah, the more noise you make, the more likely you are to attract nearby enemies. But we'll be fine against this guy. So take a quick look at our skills. We have actually unlocked a few more now that we have the axe. So we have damage with axes, so that's when we attack enemies, and then we have the wood cutting skill when we attack trees. Do you attack a tree or do you hit a tree? Question of the ages. Philosophers ran to Greece to figure out, does one attack or hit a tree? Socrates believes that you only can look at a tree. That's right. It's deep. Alright. This shall be the last of our wood collection for now. Cutting increased. Now I have a bit of a health bar for our stone axe. It will break if we use it completely. So, what shall we do? Well, we need to make a hammer, but we're going to need some stone for that. So we're going to find some stone real quick. Easiest way is just picking some stone off the ground. And that's actually the only way you're going to get stone at this stage. The easiest way. There is one other way that I could think of, but it's insanity. I won't even explain it until we've met certain things or done certain things. Because it's gonna be a bit of a surprise. So we're gonna craft our hammer, and this will be used forever. This hammer. Hello, Hugin.
With this tool, you will raise mighty halls and towering fortifications, starting by building a workbench. This in turn will enable you to construct other things.
Thank you, Hugin. But look at that. Mushrooms. What do we need these guys for? Well, you may notice in the bottom left we have 3 different slots with a little fork. These are our hunger bar, our hunger or food slots. What do we have here? We have ourselves mushrooms. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna eat one. What does this do? Plus 15 health, plus 15 stamina. So I'm pretty sure Hugin's gonna come around and talk to us here about that.
You have found a snack. Consume it to improve your health and stamina. Be aware that before long you will grow hungry again, so try to always have at least a couple of different meals ready.
So basically, you eat for health and stamina. If you don't, you're gonna have a base stamina and a base health that is very low, so you're very susceptible to dying when you get attacked by an enemy or things like that. So with the mushroom, we're slowly generating health, and our stamina is actually up to 65. One other thing I'd like to mention about this food specifically is it has a silver fork. A silver fork is a basic food, so it's neither weighted toward health or weighted toward stamina. There are going to be a couple of other different types of food. One's going to be a golden fork, the other one's going to be a red fork. The red fork is going to be more for the health side, less stamina. The yellow is going to be more for the stamina side, less health. And then again, the silver is pretty much middle, about even. That's all you need to know about food, really. You can see the timer, it says 14 minutes by the mushroom. When it gets low enough, usually when it gets below half of its original time, it'll start to flash, meaning that its effects are starting to wear off, and you're actually going to slowly see your health dwindle, or stamina dwindle. Not right away, but as the food goes and ticks down to 0, you'll see the change. So you want to make sure that you're well fed. Food is such a big key to this game. Hello, mister. Ow! Don't hit me. It's not nice. I have the strength of mushroom on my side. Ooh. Now that sound there, I think that was a critical hit. That little chink sound. Like, chink! It was, indicative of a critical hit there. So, with our hammer, we can now actually build many things. It's getting close to nighttime, so we're going to need to do some quick thinking. I see a house over there. What we're going to do is we're just going to go to that. Rather than building our own rather than building our own thing, we're going to use that for tonight. You may be wondering, what the heck are these lizards? These are called necks. They are aggressive, but they're closer to an animal than I'd say a mob. They're actually easier to fight than the little greylings that we were fighting earlier. Cool. So, this place has a little chest, and it has some arrows for us, a feather, and some amber, which is useful in the late game. So what we're gonna do, we went to this place because it has shelter. In the top right, you can see it says shelter. Now when I stand here, it doesn't. That's because there's no roof here. So a building needs a roof to have shelter. So if I stand here even, I have shelter. This is important because the Hugin told us that we're gonna have to build a workbench. So what you do is you bring out your hammer. You're gonna see a lot of stuff here with this hammer. Don't worry about that yet. You're gonna right click, and you're gonna see these different tabs. You can navigate the tabs with Q and E if you'd like, or you can just click around. I usually just click around. But what we're going to do is we're going to do crafting, and you can see workbench, and it requires you to have 10 wood, so we do have that. Now, I'm just looking around with my mouse right now. You can use your middle scroll wheel to rotate your object, and you might see it shows it red. That means it cannot be placed there. Even if you left click, it'll say invalid placement. Once it turns what it will look like, not red, you can place it. So what I'll do is just place it over here, right by the doorway. That's fine. Now with the workbench, Well, let's talk to Hugo.
The Workbench allows you to craft complex items as well as giving you access to lots more building pieces to construct with a hammer.
Thank you, Hugo. So, we were lucky. Hugo? Alright, Hugo, talk to me.
When the temperature drops at night, or if you are wet, you will suffer from being cold. This reduces your stamina regeneration. Seeking shelter by an open flame is your best option when this happens.
So as you can see in the top right, it shows cold. So we will regenerate our stamina slower whenever it is cold. Just as an FYI. Let's grab a few more stones here. It's actually perfect that there's so many here, because we're going to need them. So why would I need a shelter? The answer to that is because you cannot use a workbench unless you are under a shelter. So by pressing E, if there was no roof here, I'll actually show you. So destroyed these two items. I'm going to destroy that too. To destroy an item, by the way, you take out your hammer and you middle click, or you can set your own hotkey. But for me it's the scroll wheel click, so the middle click, mouse click, and I can destroy an item holding my hammer. So now I'll show you this. Unequip the hammer. Now try to use it. It says crafting station needs a roof. So in most cases you actually need to build your own building. Which requires you to kind of get to know how building works, which in and of itself is a little difficult at first to learn. But, oh, these are 26-degree roofs, aren't they? Yes, they are. So I'm just going to do this very quickly. And we've got our workbench back. You could actually tell, too, that these are very healthy. Compared to some of these other ones. The yellow bar shows how much hit points an item has, or how stable it is. The lower it is, the worse off. And building in this game is very special. The items actually kind of they take on what other items have around them. So the less stability that, let's say, these items have, these are going to be even less stable. So I guess it's sort of realistic in that sense. Now, buildings like these are dilapidated because they're not upkept at the beginning of the game, or it's because of weathering, or just how the building was built itself. Anyways. What we're going to do is we're going to use our workbench. Our stone axe here is almost about to be done. So all we have to do to repair items is click this button. And it costs no resources to repair your items, so it's very important to do that. Alright. Next up, what we want to do is place ourselves a bed. We want a bed so we can respawn over here, and we want to make sure that it's not nighttime, because nighttime is actually worse. It's sort of like Minecraft. More mobs to spawn. It's just worse.
Sleep the night away in your bed and awaken feeling refreshed and full of energy. Another improvement to your home would be some chests where you can store items. It is good practice to always have some spare equipment if something unfortunate should happen to you while exploring.
Thank you, Hugo. So, we're going to claim it. That's our bed. And, well, let's just see. What happens if we try to sleep now? It won't let us, because we need a fire. Now, most people will be like, okay, let's place a fire right here. Don't do it. If it's indoors, unless you've done it right, you don't want to do it, because you will create a lot of smoke in your building and you'll actually suffocate from that. So what you want to do is you want to craft with your hammer a campfire, which costs 5 stone, 2 wood. And you're going to want to put it pretty close to your bed, because a campfire doesn't have much AoE. Or, yeah, area of effect. And we have some more wood, so we're going to put a bit more into the fire, just to keep it fueled up. Now, in the top right you can see it says fire. We can sleep now. You stand at the prow of a leaping ship, the salt spray before you, and the joyful shriek of gulls above. Folded within a dream, you remembered what it was like to be alive in the land in which you were born, or something like that. Back in Midgard, I guess. Perfect. First night. First day done. And we have survived. A beautiful achievement. And there's another house right there. Usually when it comes to stuff like this, oh yeah, you need to have a crafting station to dismantle stuff. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to quickly, and I might do stuff really quick without explaining, but I'm just gonna destroy this, because this is actually free wood. You can get wood very quickly from just destroying places.